We are here with Butler head coach Kurt Godlewski, and we'll start with an opening statement from Coach, and then we'll take questions. We'll get the wireless microphone around to you. I'll ask you to just please raise your hand, wait for you to be recognized, and we'll get it over to you. And otherwise, we'll start with an opening statement from Coach.
I thought we did a really nice job in the first half, executing our game plan. We had some moments there where, especially at the start of the first half, where I think we were a little bit nervous and tentative, and that comes with having a young team and seniors that really haven't been in that limelight really before. But I thought we rebounded well and from that start and did what we wanted to do. And then in the second half, I thought Seton Hall they got some really solid, excellent players, and defensively they really clamped down and took away the things that we were looking to get in the first half with post touches and really forced our guards to make plays. And so they did a great job, I thought, in the second half defending us.
Great, we'll open it up to questions for Coach. Just raise your hand, we'll get the wireless microphone over to you. We'll start with Lisa in the back row.
Hi, Lisa Roman with the Big East. In the second, you mentioned their defensive efforts almost hurt your offense. What would you have liked to see more offensively in the second half?
Well, I thought our guards got really tentative, and they really extended the pressure on the wings, made it difficult for us to enter and really run the actions that we wanted to run. And so those actions that we were able to do in the first half really helped us control the tempo and got ball reversals, and so we were able to get better looks. And once they took that away, things kind of broke down on us, put a lot of pressure to make individual plays, and we're just not there yet with our perimeter play to do that.
Anything else for Coach? We'll do Ashley here in the front row.
Hey, Coach, we talked, a little bit this week about the youth of this team and moving forward and how to get past this season like this. But and I know Tori talked to them. What is this offseason going to look like as far as mentally rebuilding to come back stronger and have some of that extra experience maybe getting next year?
Well, it all goes back to the culture that we had. Tori talked to them about, and they have to embrace that part of it and understand that the things that we're going to receive next fall and winter are going to be earned in the spring and summer. And so they have to embrace that part of it. Getting back to the things that we did well as Butler basketball 2-3 years ago, and that was defending, which I thought we did a much better job of that today. Defending more one-on-one, defending more as a team. So that's what the spring's going to look like for us is, we got to get better defensively, and then hopefully with the, inserting some new bodies in the lineup, and I think we'll look a lot different next year than we have this past season.
Any other questions for Coach? All right, Coach, we'll let you go. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
There we go. And we're back. A couple notes about Seton Hall. It's their 8th quarterfinal appearance in the last 9 years, either advancing to the quarterfinals through the first round or getting a bye to the quarterfinals because of regular season finish. Overall, their 10th win in the last 11 games. And for Lauren Park Lane, first time this season and only the second time in her career she's been held without an assist. So breaks the single season Big East assist record not too long ago, and is held without an assist today. And the last time that actually happened goes back to her freshman year, January 10th, 2020 at DePaul. Crazy. Seton Hall's on their way. Again, for our folks who are on Zoom, if you have a question, please type it into the chat and tell me who it's directed towards, and we'll try to ask that question. Just to run down our schedule tomorrow, first game is at noon on FS1. That's number 1 seed UConn against number 9 seed Georgetown, followed by number 4 DePaul against number 5 Marquette at 2:30. Night session starts with 2nd seeded Villanova taking on number 7 seed St. John's. That's at 7 o'clock, and then 9:30 we have 3rd seed Creighton playing number 6 Seton Hall, who just defeated Butler. First game tomorrow is on FS1. The other 3 quarterfinals are on FS2. All right, we welcome in Seton Hall. Congratulations to the Pirates on the win. They advance to tomorrow's quarterfinal matchup against the Creighton Blue Jays. As usual, we'll start with an opening statement from Coach, then we'll open it up to questions for Lauren first, then we'll let her go, and then we'll take questions for Coach. But we'll start with an opening statement from Coach Bozzella.
Now, first of all, congratulations to Butler for really coming in and having a great game plan and playing with so much heart and tenacity, and it shows just how well coached they are. People look at their record and they think, oh, their players aren't that good or their coach is not that good. It's been a very difficult year for everyone. And Butler today showed why they have a lot of promise. First of all, Kurt's an outstanding coach and has a great staff. And they came in with a great game plan. And they executed it really well. And what it shows is when they're down 9-0 to start the game, they could have easily just said, listen, we've had a bad year. We're not going to win. Let's go home. And they didn't. And that's the mark of a really good, well-coached team and a mark of a really good team with a lot of potential. They're not there yet. They know that. But today I hope we'll spur them to really have a great postseason and really be, the team they're capable of being, wins and loss-wise. And for us, it was a game we needed. I mean, we need to be challenged, and we need to fight through adversity. And clearly, offensively, we struggled, and we missed some shots we normally would make, and they made a couple shots that tested our mettle. But the young lady to the left of me, this is why she's an All-American point guard. Not the games where she scores 30 or 35, which she can do tomorrow. I hope so. But it's when we're struggling and things aren't going right, she turned up her defense. She's in the huddle saying, it's okay. At halftime, she's like, it's going to be fine. That's why she's an All-American in my mind and one of the best point guards in the country. And it shows we have a good team. I mean, this team's won 10 out of 11 games. We play, a lot of games in the month of February and now March. And the kids are playing every day as hard as they can. And I'm really proud of this group. And I'm really glad we were tested this way today. I really am, because for us to defeat a great team tomorrow, we needed to be tested today, and we were.
So once again, if you have a question for Lauren, just raise your hand. We'll get the microphone over to you. We'll start right here on the corner. First, again, name and affiliation, then we'll move down the front row.
Hi, Lauren. Tim Best from the Igloo Podcast. I mean, Coach said it. You've played a lot of games in the month of February, and this is, I believe, your 12th game in the stretch of 30 days. So do you think in this tournament setting is actually something playing to your advantage because you've had so many games in such little time?
Yeah, I think it's sorry. I think it's definitely playing into our hands a little bit. We've been on a really good 9-1 stretch now, 10-1. So we're just coming into February with a lot of momentum, and I feel like our team is playing their best basketball this whole season. And we're just bringing that every day, in practice and shoot around, and in the games. We all have a common goal. All my teammates, we all want to win. We all want to make it to Monday and win on Monday. So when you share that with 14 other girls, the sky's the limit.
Right down here, right next to you.
Hi, Jim Clark from Women's Hoops World. We were just told that this is the first game since 2020 where you haven't had an assist. You did it other ways, right? And your team had a really crappy shooting day, with the exception of two of you. What were the things you were saying to your teammates when the shots weren't falling that kept you guys in the game, kept you guys strong on defense?
I think it's very important, with all of us, not to get down on ourselves when we make, when we miss shots. You have to have a shooter's mentality, all of us. You miss a couple in a row, you have to have confidence in yourself to keep shooting those shots. Because we practice them every day, so you can make them. You just have to have it in your mind, and have that confidence. I think, earlier in the game we struggled with that. Me, Andra, Sydney as well. We struggled and we were getting down on ourselves every time we missed a shot. But when we keep each other up and tell each other these are the shots we practice. No one's mad at you for missing these shots. You have to take those shots because those are the shots we take every game. So you have to take those shots, and eventually they'll fall.
Here in the second row on the left.
Hi, Lauren. Ciara from MTMB Sports. And you were held to 9 points in the first half. What type of adjustments did you make for yourself to come out stronger in the second?
I definitely saw, in the first half, they were playing me more of, to drive instead of shoot. And I feel like my three-point shot has been a big improvement in my game. So once they started, going under the screens, especially in the second half, I knew that I had to let it fly because every time someone goes under the screen, I have to make them pay.
Anything else for Lauren before we let her go? Great. We'll let Lauren get back to the locker room, and we'll reset, and we'll do questions for Coach. Sam, if we can get the microphone, we'll start here in the front row.
Hi, Coach. Jim Clark from Women's Hoops World. You just said, she's an All-American point guard. what can you do to get the rest of the world to see what we see all the time in the Big East?
Thanks, Jim, and your work is outstanding. I want you to know that, and I do appreciate it, as does so many people that read it. We as a conference have to do as much as we can to promote each other and promote our teams, and it's a big thing that I'm going to talk about again this summer. As a group of coaches, we have to promote each other and promote our league. The office is doing what they can do. We have a tremendous, Big East administration. But as coaches, in each and every interview and press conference and everything, we have to talk about how strong our league is. Our league is a 4-bid league. I don't care what anyone says. And, maybe we're going to be a little short, maybe not. We'll see what happens on the next few days. But you look at a team like Villanova and you look at a team like DePaul and obviously Creighton, who we play tomorrow, they're outstanding basketball teams. And just because, our net number isn't what it should be, I still don't understand the net number. But I will tell you, I understand watching college basketball as much as I do, that we have really good teams in our league. And you look at a team like Butler and you're like, well, they're not good, because of their record. But if you put Butler in the Summit League, which right now has as many teams being charted and getting into the tournament as we do, and if you put them in the WCC, which has as many teams right now being charted as we would get into, Butler would be the second or third best team in that league. So the lack of respect that our league gets from everyone around the country is disgusting. It really is. We have really good teams in our league. And I'll tell you, you can put Seton Hall right there with everyone, and we'll play with anyone. You want to guard those 3 kids? Good luck.
We'll go here in the front row, and then we have a question on Zoom.
Hey, Coach. So Butler actually did have the lead late in the second quarter and tied going into the locker room. Do you think there was some level of shock value that played a role in being a motivating factor to only hold them to 15 second-half points and run away with it by nearly 20?
Tim, I don't think it was shock, because we did not prepare for anyone other than Butler this week. We really did. And we knew they were going to come out and play really hard. Now, did we think we were going to play offensively the way we did in the first half? Absolutely not. But that's why we worked on our defense and worked on our scout. Coach Snell did a tremendous job, along with the staff, of really preparing us for a scout. And we said to the team at half, what have we done well? And they're like, well, I said we held them to 24 points. And I really felt in my heart, if we held them to 24 points in the second half, with 48, we're going to get to 49. There was no doubt in my mind we would get to 49. That I knew we could do. So what we couldn't do is come out, feel sorry for ourselves, not play defense. I think we held them scoreless the first 6 or 7 minutes of the beginning of the second half. But in the past, teams, maybe our teams, would have trouble with, feeling sorry for ourselves, and they hit a 3, they get a 2, they get an N1, they get a steal, and now they go on a 7-0 run. We're the ones who win on the run, and that shows maturity for us. So at halftime, Tim, it wasn't about, woe is me. They were like, all right, how are we going to fix the offense? Are we going to play a little better defensively and hold them to 24 or less, and we'll be fine.
So we have a question from Zoom. Sunil with the Everyday Fan Sports has a couple questions for you. First one, he's asking about just your impressions, your thoughts on the 13-0 run that your team put together there in the third quarter.
Thanks, Sunil. Good to see you on Zoom. Like I said to Tim, it comes with us wanting to play defense and us believing in ourselves. And that's why I was so happy we were challenged today, because things have been a little easy for us the past couple of games, and it's been hard. We played DePaul. That was a really hard game. But Xavier, we, played, a little better than this, and they didn't play as well. And, it wasn't as challenging a game, and this was today. And, this helped us a lot. And, I just thought the 13-0 run, I kept saying to them on the timeouts, how many points do they have? And they kept saying 0. And I go, and if they score 0, we're going to win. So the girls were great about that.
Got another question from Zoom. Matt DeMarinis out in Omaha. Seton Hall and Creighton have gone to overtime 4 times in the last 6 seasons. What's made this matchup so tight, so exhilarating, and are you expecting anything less tomorrow?
Yeah, no one has more respect for me than Creighton. To forecast them as an 8 seed now or 9 seed, like they're prognosticated, is a joke. They're a top 5 seed in the country. Like, they have great players. They're extremely well coached. They come out with a great strategy tomorrow. Wozniak, Jensen, Rembo is a tremendous point guard. They have really good players. So it's going to be a really hard game for us. One of the things that we have to do is just come out and play with some confidence. They're good. They've knocked us out of the playoffs last year. They've knocked us out a couple of years ago. They're good. They understand how to play against Seton Hall, and they play really well against us. We need to play well. I thought last year's playoff game was a couple points. I thought this year when we played them a week and a half ago, it was a couple points. I mean, we're right there, but they found a way to win, and we have to find that way, tomorrow. And it starts with playing defense. It starts with understanding the scout, but most of all, it starts with us playing with some confidence. Matt, we have to play with confidence, and if we do, we're going to have an opportunity to win. It'll be hard, but we'll have an opportunity.
One more for Coach here in the back row. Yep, right here, Lisa.
Hi, Coach. Lisa Roman with the Big East. You mentioned your team was challenged today. What's the number one thing you took away from the challenge that they faced?
Lisa, I just was proud of them that they, accepted the challenge at halftime. We didn't go in there and we weren't like, oh my God. We went in there with some, we went as confident as the coaches. We got into them a little bit just to tell them to continue to play with confidence. When we went out there, I didn't know what I'd see 100%. I hoped, and what I saw was what I was proud of. At least they played with just some toughness and intensity. It's hard to play when things aren't going well, especially on the offensive end, because we're about offense. And we found a way to win. And, it's hard to win in the playoffs. You could say, it's hard to win in the playoffs. It's hard to win anytime. We have a really good league. Like I told you, I truly believe if Butler played in the WCC, the Summit, the Missouri Valley, any of those conferences, they're going to be a second, third, fourth place team. They're good. They just happen to play in a really good league right now. So I was proud of them, Lisa, that they found a way to win a tough game when adversity hit.
Coach, thanks very much. Congrats on the win. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming. I love James. He knows that.